We are apparently live.
Great.
That worked out.
Yeah, early episode on Thursday. This is the time we used to do it.
Is it? Oh man. Not
Like
not since I've been around,
no
basically.
no you don't know you with you like we used to do this like back in like
Oh, you're right.
February or something. Yeah.
I used to have Thursdays off. You're right. So yeah,
Yeah.
this is around the time we used
This
to
is
do
it.
this.
Yep. But yeah, we're here. John's not here. He's at PAX, which he didn't even mention that to us. So I didn't know that until like yesterday.
Yep.
Um,
Good old John.
and then I guess maybe he'll be back next week. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea.
Either way, we might have a guest next week, but I won't announce. I'll announce that on Twitter once it's confirmed. But
Oh, that's right. You did mention something like that.
we might
Very
have
cool.
somebody next week anyways. So stay tuned to TDP Podcast on Twitter if you want to know who, if that's confirmed. But yeah, I hope he'll be back next week because, like, this is going to sound really stupid and selfish, but whenever he's not here, it wreaks havoc on my layouts for the stream, and
On Twitch, right?
it causes me more work. So
Right.
I hope
Although
he's here.
someone in the chat just said that they love the layout. I don't know what it looks like because I don't watch it.
It's honestly just our two cameras on top of a thing.
Oh, okay. So they're being sarcastic.
Well, they're bigger now, so like you
Okay.
can see more.
Oh,
But,
okay. Well, then they're not being sarcastic because why wouldn't you want more?
Yeah,
There you go.
there you go.
Top down perspective. August 27th. I'm Sean Booker. Paul Wheeler.
Yeah.
Not Paul Wheeler.
Yeah, well, close enough.
Paul Wheeler. Paul Fleck. John Wheeler's not here. There we go. Get it
We're already starting off great. Great start.
together. Why don't we talk about what I've been playing?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I mentioned it last week. I've been playing Gears of War Ultimate Edition.
Yeah, is it more Gears of War?
Yeah, it's more Gears of War.
Yeah.
I'm not really into the first Gears of War, and once again, I just still think this game's kind of boring. It's just like nothing that exciting is happening. You go through the checkpoint. There's going to be some guys coming out of the ground. You shoot them. You continue on. I will say that one of my big issues with the first Gears of War is that it was just completely like gray and ugly, and this one they actually put color into it, so it looks a lot nicer.
Okay, that's cool.
It doesn't look as nice as I think it should, though. Like, they definitely didn't, like, remake this thing. It's just kind of up-resed and cleaned up a bit. Which, that's kind of a bummer, but it definitely does look nicer than the gray, just filth that Gears of War 1 originally looked like.
Sure.
Like, it is a budget price, so I guess that's nice, and from what I understand, if you play Gears of War Ultimate Edition online between, like, now and December, then at some point they're going to give you all 4 of the other Gears of War games for download for free, which that's cool. Although I own all those games, so I don't really care. But another thing though is I kind of wish they would have brought some of the features from the like second and third game and I guess Judgment back into this one, like no horde mode. I can't
Oh.
go back to no horde to not having a horde mode.
That seems kind of like an easy fix, right? They should have been able to do.
Yeah, like what's the big deal? Just put a horde. Like I know it didn't come with a horde mode, and that was Gears 2 thing, but like horde mode is fantastic. There's a reason we still call it horde mode.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So like that's kind of a bummer to see, but either way, you know, if you're dying to play some Gears 1, I guess this is fine. But I'm still just kind of bored with the story, and like I just don't even care what's going on.
Yeah, fair enough.
But here's a weird thing. So it's 60 frames per second only for the multiplayer,
Not for the actual game.
not for the single player. Correct?
That's odd.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
And like it looks great when you're playing the multiplayer, but like the single players, they're pretty substantial in this game. It's not like a Call of Duty thing where it's like a quick 5-hour thing. And you'd think they would have put it there, but I don't know why. It seems like this was kind of put out there just to like tie us over for Gears of War 4 next year, I guess. So
Weird.
yeah. Anyway, I also mentioned that I've played a little bit of Capsule Force, and I actually have not played that much of Capsule Force.
Yeah.
And you and I tried to play it together before realizing there's no online multiplayer. It's all local, which
Yeah.
is a huge bummer for me, and I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm supposed to do about that. But I've
That's a
played some of
huge
the little
like
challenges.
that's a huge like cross off the list for like things that make a game good. It's like, oh, can't play with people that I know that aren't over. I guess I'll just give this a whole 5 marks down on my score or
Right.
something.
Well, I don't know about that, but the thing is, like, there's a whole bunch of these like couch co-op, local multiplayer games now, and it's like, go back to online multiplayer. I really like online
I
multiplayer.
agree.
Like, it's an infinite number of people to play against.
Especially like Rocket League, how we could play on PC and you on PS4, and that worked
Right.
perfectly. So,
Yeah, we did that last weekend too, and that was fantastic. Um, if anyone that was there watching is listening, that was a great time.
yeah.
But
That was fun.
anyway, you've also played some Capsule Force.
Yeah.
How much have you played?
About the same amount as you. I did the time trial stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess what do you feel about that? Like, it's such a small amount of the game so far, but
It's fine. For anybody who might not know what Capsule Force is, think of almost like a weird Mega Man game where you can aim your shots and you have like different charge levels of your shots you could do as well. It's like a side-scrolling type
I think
platformy
it's
thing.
focused a lot on speed. Like,
Yeah.
I think that you're supposed to race each other is the multiplayer aspect.
I think so too. Yeah.
What
But
I really like though is there's this cool mechanic where you have a double jump, and then you have your shot and a shield, and if you use your shot or your shield while you're in the air, you get your jumps back.
yeah.
So you can literally fly through a stage by
Yeah.
just jump, shoot, jump, shoot, jump, shoot, which I got pretty good at doing in those time trials.
Mhm.
So I like that, and I'm excited to see kind of how this race stuff will happen. But again, I haven't played much besides that timed target practice mode.
Yeah, for sure. This is a game that I do want to play with friends, and the fact that there's no like internet component where we could just join each other's games or create a lobby, that's a big problem for me for what this game does. So,
Yeah, I mean, I love the style of it. Like, it's all well. Here's another thing. Like, it should have online because it's not like they're sending that much data. It's like 8-bit graphics, 16-bit graphics, I should say. Um, but apart from that, I do like the style of it. It looks like an 80s anime.
yeah.
Like, you're getting some like Ramen Half, Lupin the Third kind of stuff
Yeah.
going on, set in space. And like even the intro like title cards, it comes down from the like zero Capsule Force or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like that, but yeah, I just wish I wish I had more people I could play with
Oh,
locally.
yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. That's really the problem is that like I wouldn't even say that it's my problem where it's just like I should get a bunch of people around and like I'll hook up my computer to my TV thing. Like this should just be a thing that you can play with other people online. I don't like couch co-op only games. I hate that so fucking much. And it actually ruined the experience of this game already for me. If they ever do add it, I can revisit and then be like, yeah, this was fun to play with like a bunch of random people or whatever. But for now, I think I'm just gonna put it away until like one day a bunch of us are together or something and we have the ability to play it. I'll try it
guess.
out, but
I'm gonna have to try and figure out because I only have one wired 360 controller, so I'm either gonna have to like learn it on the keyboard as well, which would suck, or or just have to figure out the whole like PlayStation 4 on the PC controller or the Xbox One controller as well, and then get someone to come over. But yeah, other than that, I played through all of Tales from the Borderlands Episode 4, and
I hear
it's
great things about it.
yeah, so last time I was like, episode 3 was real good, real good. Episode 4 also real good. Tales from the Borderlands has become one of my like go-to Telltale game recommendations now. Like before that, it was like, what are the Telltale adventure games I should play? Since they kind of switched over to their interactive story style.
Yeah.
And it's like it's always been like Walking Dead season 1, and then Wolf Among Us is okay. Part of season 2 Walking Dead is okay. But now it's like, no, it's Walking Dead season 1 and it's Tales from the Borderlands. Those are the ones you should be playing.
Yeah.
Tons of fun. I'm not gonna get into any spoilers, but once again, fantastic title card. Some really funny jokes, some really weird, just really weird stuff happens, and you have to do some really weird stuff that's pretty funny. And there's even like a super heartfelt, like sad moment you got to go through. Like you get the whole roller coaster there. It was a really good episode. I should be writing my review of that earlier than I currently have. So
I hear tales from the Borderlands, like the other guy I do the other podcast with. You've met him a few times, but he was just like, this is easily like the best thing Telltale's done in a long time. Like, it's really good.
I really like season 1 of Walking Dead. I think that was really good.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like second now for me.
I should really check this one out then. And like I was even saying to him, okay, but what if I don't care about Borderlands, like, in general? He's like, dude, I don't fucking care about Borderlands. This made me care about Borderlands.
I don't know if this makes me care about Borderlands. I like Borderlands. I like playing Borderlands a lot.
Yeah.
The story, I don't care too much. It really doesn't matter. Like, it's so unattached to, like, anything going on there. It's more just, like, kooky heist game.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, with fun robot buddies and, like, yeah, it's pretty good. And then last game, started playing it today, is called Sage Solitaire, and it's my current like iPhone like addicted game right now.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think because it's by someone who's made another few noteworthy iOS games, but I don't know if this is on Android. You should definitely look it up if it is or not. But Sage Solitaire is you have like a 3x3 grid of cards, and you need to make like poker hands out of the cards, and then when you do that, the card will go away, and it's like on a pile, so you'll get the next card to come up, and you're just trying to get rid of all the stacks with getting as many points as you can. Super simple. It's by Zach Gage. What did Zach Gage do? Let me look this up real quick.
Sounds familiar. It's pretty good though. Like, it's basically Solitaire, or is it more like a poker game?
Kind of like both, I guess. Like it's like a mix. Okay, you might have known this guy from Ridiculous Fishing or Spell Tower.
Okay, no, I haven't played either of them.
Oh, okay. Well, those were some pretty big.
Yeah, they were. You're right, but yeah.
Anyway, it's free. You can also unlock like more modes and whatnot for like $3. I haven't seen any of those modes yet, so I'm not sure. But I'm just been playing the free version, and I'm already quite interested in. So I would definitely look it up. If you have an iOS device, check out Sage Solitaire. If you like little, puzzle games. Like, if you liked Pair Solitaire, you'll probably be into this. And Pair Solitaire was fantastic. And again, I don't know if it's on Android, but I would definitely recommend looking that up.
Cool. Sounds cool.
I did finish Lifeline, now that I remember that. I beat that. I never lost Taylor, so that was good.
Nice. Okay.
And now once a day, it was giving me a notification like, do you want to restart the story? And after 2 days, I deleted that app.
Yeah.
I don't need it constantly reminding me that. And I haven't started it yet, but I downloaded Lara Croft Go.
You did?
Because that came out today.
Did it? Oh, okay. Yes. I had no idea.
It came out, for iOS, Android, and Windows Phone all on the same day. You should get Lara Croft Go. I hear it's pretty good.
All right, hold on. I'm doing it right now.
Lots of apps for you to get. Also, you should look up if Sage Solitaire is on there.
Okay, let's look up Sage Solitaire first. Then, because that one I will forget, the other one not so much. Solitaire. No, not that I can see.
Okay. That's a bummer for Android users, but
yeah, so no access to that. However, let's look up Lara Croft, and I'll be kind of bummed if Go isn't like the first thing that pops up and it's some like gross app somebody made.
Amazing.
I don't see it here.
It's from what I understand.
There it is. It's at the bottom of the list.
Okay, there you go. Should be like $5 or whatever.
Yep, $5.79 Canadian.
Canadian. There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all I played this last week.
All right, cool. Like you were saying, I played a little bit of Capsule Force, and we talked about that already, but that's on my list, so I thought I'd bring it up again. I played a lot of Parappa the Rapper this week.
Okay. What are you playing it on again?
I'm playing it right now on an emulator because playing it on
Okay.
the PSN network version on an HD TV is impossible because of the latency between
Okay.
the button presses and like what you hear and see and stuff.
You're not playing it on your PSP?
I don't have a PSP. I've never had a PSP ever.
Wow, I'm surprised. Okay.
Yeah.
I have two PSPs.
Nice. The PSPs are great. I like them a lot, but I've never
I'm not a big fan. No, I wouldn't say PSPs are great.
I've never purchased one. So
Okay. That's fair. Like, I don't think you need to.
yeah.
Definitely not anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, Parappa the Rapper, that game is easy until a point, and then it's stupid because so the point I'm talking about is specifically against Cheep Cheep the cooking chicken, and
Okay.
I can't get past it. And other people have actually told me, like in a DM or two, and in the chat, that like they spent like 5 hours some nights just trying to get past that point because they think the coding might be broken. Like, it just doesn't feel right, anything in that song.
Oh, for this emulator, you mean? Or for the game
No,
itself?
just in general, for the game itself. Like, that song does
Okay.
not feel right. Maybe, like, I don't know what it is. But anyways, that's where I keep getting held up right now. And that game is great. That game is still fantastic. I don't know how I beat that game as a kid, because this fucking chicken is making me go crazy.
I've never played Parappa the Rapper.
You should try it sometime if you have like the ability
I really
to.
should. Yeah.
Because that game is great. It's silly in like the ways a Japanese Sony game is back in the
Yeah,
90s.
I'd probably be way into it. I've never gotten around to it.
Yeah. And now people are just saying, fuck. Now they're just saying lines from that song just to bug me. But anyways.
Butter goes in the bowl.
Yep.
Also, people are asking why I have two PSPs. One of them doesn't read UMDs, so I was like, guess I need a new one.
Yeah. So what you're saying is one is dead. Pay respects to Sean's
like,
dead PSP.
It can do every... Oh my god, no. Although that one's a lot closer to being dead than my PS3, because my PS3 is totally fine. I'm just saying, like, the problem with that is all I could do is like download stuff, but I never had a huge memory card because those PSP memory cards were like crazy expensive. Just like Vita memory cards, like Sony proprietary memory cards are just stupid. So there you go.
There's the respects, by the way, showing up.
I'm watching them. Thanks, guys.
It's like pulling strings, like the Puppet Master. You just say some dumb thing, and you control all of them at one time. Anyways, back to Parappa the Rapper. That game is great. Like, I genuinely love it a lot, and a lot of stuff it does. I think it's hilarious that the rapping in that game is literally just mimicking what the other person said to the beat. So you're not really rapping, you're just like copying exactly what they said, or trying to, at least. And I think it would be great if there were more rappers in this world where like a rap battle was happening and one rapper is like throwing lines at him and the other rapper is just like copying everything he said in time. That would be so good.
And is also a dog.
And is also a dog.
That would be way better.
Yeah. Wearing a toque or beanie, as
Right.
you would call it now.
It's always hat. It's always been hat to me. I don't think I've ever used a toque or beanie.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, winter hat. Do you have a
winter hat?
Yeah, I think that's what it was in my house. Yeah, like, or I think it was just make sure you get a hat. It's cold out. All right, and it's like,
Okay.
well, obviously I'm not getting the baseball cap.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. And then earlier today, I started Hideo Kojima's masterpiece, Policenauts, using the ROM hack, like the ISO hack version that is English sub by fans. So it's in English, and I can read it, and it's great.
I have no idea what this is.
This is, think like a point-and-click adventure type game where you play a detective that was part of this space police force thrown into space for a bunch of years, like 20 years or 30 years or something, rescued, came back, and is like living in this more futuristic version of the world trying to find out like who this killer guy is. It's like a weird space noir film that you play, but it's anime, So they do some silly gags here and there, which is probably the great part, I think. Like, there's a lot of anime girls.
This looks like Snatcher.
It's very similar, yeah.
Do you know Snatcher?
Yeah, I never played it, though.
Like, I'm pretty sure he also did that.
I think you're right. I never looked into it.
Hang on, let me look this up. Snatcher. Yeah, hang on, right here. Director Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
Like the art style looks exactly like Snatcher.
Yep.
Which I've heard great things about Snatcher. In fact, I own a Japanese copy of Snatcher. Haven't played much of it.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I have that for my Japanese Sega CD. Sega Saturn, I should say.
So, if you remember when I was talking about Policenauts, because I actually have, like, an official release version from the Japanese PS3 store, like, online, a download of it. And I was just like, I'm going to learn...
That's not what you're playing, right?
No, that's not what I'm playing. But I remember saying something like, I'm going to learn Japanese, and then I'm going to play this game, and it's going to be great. I'm so glad I'm playing it now in English, because that game... even in English, it's hard to follow. Like, there are so many words that I wouldn't even know. Like, you would, even being fluid Japanese, you would have a hard time with some of this stuff, because they talk about a lot of science-y, like, terminology and made-up technologies that don't exist, so it wouldn't make any sense.
This game came out on the 3DO.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, why doesn't it make sense in Japanese? That seems odd.
Because they use a lot of medical terminology, like mucous membranes and blah, 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 like medical anatomical terminologies and, like, made-up technology names and stuff like that. Because it's Hideo Kojima, the guy that's, like, obsessed with nano machines and shit like that, and learning that type of stuff in Japanese probably wouldn't ever happen unless you're completely fluent, like you grew up there and this is what you learned. So, anyways, the fan-done English subtitled version, it's great. That game is absolutely fantastic. It's silly and kind of self-serious in some spots, just like Kojima always does. I don't know, man. It's really good. It seems super long, though. Like, I don't know how far in I'm in, like how many acts they are, but I have 3 hours in the game now, and I basically beat the prologue, and I'm still in Act 1.
And you said it's a point-and-click adventure game?
It's basically a point-and-click adventure game, yeah.
Like, how, like, pixel hunty is it? Like,
not very. Like, there is some, like, style of pixel huntiness, but it's not too bad.
Like, are you combining items together
no.
to make a new item?
No,
if you had to compare it to, like, something more recent in the adventure game, like, what do you think?
Like, the way it plays is, say, like, you have an image of an office space or whatever, right? With a bunch of computers, like, maybe a cabinet full of papers and stuff like that. You would click on whatever you want to investigate, and then, like, it would give you an option to look, and then you would look at it, and then if there's something important with it, you might get another option to interact with it, but it takes you very step by step. There isn't just, like, the old LucasArts style of you can, like, touch, smell, hear, like, all this stuff.
Yeah, all the things on the bottom. It's not that, right?
It's not that. It's very much, like, whatever you're looking at, if you can interact with it a specific way, that option will unlock as you, like, uncover it, so you can kind of brute force your way through any situation.
So is it just like a visual novel, like, or is there
kind
like
of
puzzles?
Kind of. There are parts where you have to shoot. There are like first-person shooting segments, which is absolutely terrible with a D-pad.
That's weird. Okay.
But more importantly, it's all just about the story. Like, I really like this idea of there was, like, this elite force they were sending up into space because they were going to start colonizing different places or whatever, called the Policenauts back in the day. One of them got kind of thrown out into space because of an accident, gets brought back, like, 30 years in the future, basically, and has to continue on his life even after everything is gone. Like, his wife left him, obviously, because they thought he was dead. His friends all, like, started doing other stuff. I just kind of like that feel, and it has that detective film noir feel to everything in it, with a bunch of silliness in there, too. So overall, it's just a great Kojima experience, and I can't wait to get to more of it. It just feels like a little long.
So is there an English version of this game, like officially?
Yeah. Well, not officially released by Konami, because Konami are a bunch of shitlords, but done by fans, and that you can download a patch version if you have like an actual disc copy. They give you instructions on how to rip that disc to your PC and apply the patch, or you can download like just the patched version from various sites that may or might not be legal, depending on where you exist.
All right. This is interesting.
Yeah,
it looks like it came out the same year as Snatcher, at least for the Sega Saturn.
Yeah, they were done back to back, I believe.
Well, I don't know about that, because I'm looking at the dates, and for whatever the they were out on PC originally, and Snatcher was 6 years before it.
Okay.
Like Snatcher's 88 and this is 94, but in terms of the Saturn releases, they were both 96.
Oh, okay. That makes sense, I guess. That's another thing, is that like this is very much point and click, so there's a mouse cursor that you're moving around, and I hate using a D-pad to move around a cursor.
Yeah.
It's really bad. The part
Why can't you just touch the screen?
Right, exactly. The part I'm having trouble with right now, though, is that you talk to Meryl from Metal Gear, because she's in this game. Well, she's from this game and then put into Metal Gear later. But
Wait, really?
Yeah. So you talk to Meryl, and then you are like looking at her boobs, and then she's like, if you want to touch him, you have to beat my high score in the academy training, like shooting center. So I've been trying to beat her high score, and I can't do it. So
is it possible?
Yes.
Or is it just like a joke, like you can't beat it, so clearly you can't touch her?
I have actually looked this up. I Googled it, and people have said, yes, just get better. So, but it's hard to do that game, because it's a shooting game, when you're using a D-pad with like really bad acceleration on the mouse pointer, like on the pointer. So I think I'm going to look into using my mouse for that point, like my actual computer mouse, as my input, just to get that training thing done. Because I do want... you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to look up YouTube. I'm just going to look up a video of what happens. Yeah. That's way easier. I'm not going to John this shit. I don't care enough. But... long story short, it's been a great experience, and I can't wait to get to more of it.
I mean, I'm looking at Wikipedia right now, and the genre straight up says adventure game, visual novel, interactive movie.
I mean, if we're gonna be like use semantics, though, every single thing Hideo Kojima does is an interactive movie.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong.
So, like, yeah. It's really good, though. I'm highly enjoying it. I really love this setting, and the goofiness that these games have, Kojima games have to them, are great. That's all I've been playing, though.
Cool. Let's do the news. You have this first one.
Yeah, so you know that YouTube gaming thing they were talking about? A
little bit.
Yeah, that's actually out now. So that is a thing. Unless you're in Canada, then you cannot access it on mobile. And then when questioned about it on Twitter, one of the dudes that works at like Google in the YouTube division or whatever, he's like, yeah, we're working on it, whatever. It's just like, fine, fuck you too. But what YouTube gaming is essentially they're trying to create a whole section for just gaming videos, LPs, gaming reviews, and stuff like that, and live streaming all in one area, like a hub, instead of having it all just in YouTube. So I'm not exactly sure what the hell they're doing with that, like why they're splitting up their audience like that, but one of the biggest problems with it is that YouTube was easy to navigate, kind of. Like, if you go to a video you were watching and you're just like, okay, I want to go back, you would just go back to, like, subscribers or hit the home button or anything, and you would be back. In YouTube gaming, it's really hard to get out of it back to the normal YouTube site, and I actually don't even know how you do it. I didn't even look hard enough to try to find it, so when I wanted to go back, I just went to youtube.com in my address bar. They kind of want to keep you in there, it seems.
So your experience is watching people streaming, or did you stream stuff?
I did try to watch a few people because I wanted to see what it was like. And the first thing you do when you go to this YouTube Gaming or gaming.youtube or whatever the fuck it is, you get introduced to this terrible UI that on either side of the screen there's like little bars that when you hover over them they come out, and then you can choose like what games you want to watch or what channels are live or
I'm gonna look this up.
Whatever.
Is it gaming.youtube?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
You know what? I'm gonna do the same here. We'll go through this.
There's a lot on the screen.
It's really bad. Like, their UI is fucking terrible. There is a lot of shit on the screen. None of it really makes sense at first glance. And it all just seems like a whole bunch of useless information. The one thing I do like that they do is that they mute they show at the very top bar the like streams that are going on, and they're muted at first until you click on them and actually join it. I don't like when I go to like hitbox.tv, for example, when you go to their main page, like whatever site they're featuring, Twitch does this too, or like stream they're featuring, it'll just be full blast fucking audio, and I hate that. So I'm glad that
PewDiePie's on this already.
Well, I mean, of course he is, right? But that's one thing I hate about those sites.
I actually don't like that. Don't even like that there's already a stream going. That's the thing Twitch obviously does as well. And I was always just like,
yeah,
if I want to watch it, I'll click on it. I promise.
Yeah, that's kind of it. At least they give us the decency of like, okay, we know you want to like showcase your partners or stuff that people are liking right now. At least you muted the video. At least it's not blaring at me the minute I click onto your goddamn site. So that is the one plus I will say. Now, if you hover over to the right or left, you'll see that it kind of brings out like the information that you like, the different games and stuff.
Channels, it looks like
featured channels, games that you can watch that are live right now or popular. One of the problems with this is that you need a scroll wheel mouse, and people were saying that like without a scroll wheel mouse, some people don't have. Like, they just can't scroll down.
I mean, I guess so, but who doesn't have a scroll wheel mouse?
Like, I don't at work, at my work computer, because all I use is Excel all day.
That's insane. How old is that computer?
It's really shitty.
Yeah.
It's really, really shitty.
So you're saying, darn, your work computer can't watch YouTube gaming streams?
Well, it can't watch YouTube at all because we're cut off from, like, gaming sites and stuff. But how hard would it be for a multi-million-dollar website to design, like, when you scroll or hover over the bottom of the screen, like, it just slowly starts scrolling for you? Every other site can do shit like that, so I don't know why they can't.
Why isn't John at the top of the featured channels?
Because he's not live right now. So yeah, on one side you have your games, on the other side you have your featured channels and like the bigger YouTubers and shit like that. And then as you scroll down, there's just a bunch of fucking garbage. There's a mix of live shit and like old videos that aren't live that are gaming related. It's just kind of a clusterfuck of a bunch of dumb, pointless bullshit. So what I've been doing is not using this site, going to YouTube's old site when I want to watch the videos that I'm subscribed to, and then clicking on the people I want to watch, like, specifically, because this site is a fucking mess. It is absolutely disgusting. The nice thing is, though, when you do join a stream, it's serviceable, I guess. Like, the video takes up most of the screen, and then the chat takes up a little portion on the right, which is still some...
I see the chat.
Did you join, like, a stream that's in progress?
Oh, no, I think this is an old stream. I'm watching... Who is this? It's a Life is Strange stream by Tara Babcock, and she is a scantily clad lady.
Okay.
Playing Life is Strange, episode 4. I'm going to get out of this.
I have to see this now.
I just went to the left.
Oh!
Life is Strange is like...
Yeah.
Like, her videos start with her, like... That's an interesting video. Okay, here's a live one. Let's see what a live one looks like.
Yeah.
Okay, now I see the chat. That was taken up by, like, other videos.
So, I like what they do there better than what Twitch does. When you join a channel, you actually see what's important, which is just the chat and the, like, video game enlarged. Twitch likes to add their stupid little, like, panels at the very bottom and all this other shit. So, I like how they do that.
Yet. I'm sure they're coming. Like, Twitch has ads when you start watching a stream off the bat.
Yeah.
This doesn't. It just went to the video. But I'm assuming that's got to be coming.
Yeah, probably. Another thing I will say I like is that for when you go to like the game that you want to watch or whatever, it kind of brings you to a landing page for that game, and then you can see related videos for that game. Like there's a specific tab for Let's Plays of it, and then at the very top are people that are live playing it right now. I kind of like that, how it separates the game specifically and a bunch of content related to it. But even then, it's still just a whole bunch of video thumbnails thrown on the screen that you have to scroll through endlessly to see what you want, and I don't like that at all. It's kind of
an ugly website.
It's a completely ugly website.
Yeah. One downside I actually had heard, now that I'm thinking back just from like briefly kind of glancing through Twitter, is the content curation that YouTube has is almost like getting in the way. And I saw one person post, and then someone I follow like retweeted it, that his game got like content blocked because of music in the game he was streaming.
Okay.
So in-game music, but that in-game music is copywritten, I guess.
Right.
And then his video got blocked.
I mean, this happens as well if you take a Twitch stream and then upload the VOD to YouTube. So it's kind of the same way. What happens is that it archives the video after you're done streaming, and it's essentially the same thing as if you were to stream on Twitch and then push to YouTube. So it does it kind of the same way. But what I do like,
the guy was also talking about the push again.
Yeah.
Or well, that makes no sense, because then why would he even make a complaint about it if he's like used to this? So maybe it was happening live. I don't know.
It could be. The reason I bring this, or like was saying this though, is because yesterday I tried streaming to it a little bit, and I made sure to play the most copywritten music you could, like Nicki Minaj's Anaconda and shit like that, like very popular music that gets hit instantly because Vivo channels. And sure. Ironically enough, I didn't have any problems with listening to any of that stuff live or even in the VOD of it. Like, it's totally fine. It's when I started listening to Monster Cat, who are an online group of like indie, they're a label for like indie artists and stuff that release stuff on the internet. They've been giving me a lot of shit lately, and like putting like copyright notices and muting my videos and stuff for listening to their stuff when they have a free license agreement that, like, as long as you give accreditation the certain way they want, which I always do, they don't care. So I've been having a lot of shit with this shitty little fucking indie music company than I have with, like, the bigger companies, so I don't know what the fuck's going on anymore. Sure. Whatever. Streaming to the site, though, I'll segue into that, is totally fine. It's the same way you would Twitch. It gives you, like, the basic information you need, but even better with XSplit, you can just choose, like, what service
so you were able to stream?
I was able to stream to it. Yeah, I did for a few hours last night.
Okay, but it's not in Canada.
It is in Canada on the site. You can't visit...
Oh, you're talking about the app?
Yeah, the app isn't available at all, and you can't even get it on mobile in Canada. So their mobile site isn't up for us, I guess.
Right.
But streaming to it is kind of like anything else. In XSplit specifically, all I had to do was go like add channel, YouTube, and then put in my like credentials or whatever, and then it automatically took everything I needed, and I was able to stream right away. I like that they give you analytics in real time. Like, I could see how many viewers would pop in and out every couple minutes and how many messages were sent per minute in graphs that kept going.
Okay.
So that was really cool. Like, I really like statistics and analytics like that.
Sure.
It's super easy to get spotted right now on, like, basically anything you do on YouTube gaming, because not enough people are big on it. Besides, like, if PewDiePie does a stream, he's obviously going to take up the whole front page because he has, like, 30 million people ready to watch him at any time. But even as, like, a nobody, I was, like, the second person on the whole fucking site playing Binding of Isaac last night, and I had more views in about 5 minutes than the other guy.
Oh, are you a millionaire now?
No, I'm just saying that, like, when you go to the Binding of Isaac page and you only see one stream there, like, sometimes you don't even see one.
You got to find all the weird games now. Just start streaming them. Be the number one guy.
Do Policenauts on here. Be the Policenauts guy.
So Are you switching from Twitch?
Oh, fuck no. There absolutely no reason to right now. This is kind of a problem I was having with people on Twitter getting on this like Twitch circle jerk of like, oh, Twitch is so much better, bleh, or whatever. Like, of course they are. They've been doing this for years. They've been focusing solely on streaming before like any of these sites really wanted to do any of that shit, and they've been able to make their mistakes being the only company doing it. And now that they've gotten the right formula after years of perfecting it, like, of course YouTube gaming's gonna be shitty. It's probably always gonna be shitty because that's how shit like this goes.
They got YouTube behind you.
Well, that's the thing, is that they have YouTube behind them and it's already shitty. Like,
they just started.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing. That, like, give them time, let them find what they want to do and be good at it, and I'm sure they'll be okay. But as of right now, there's absolutely no reason why you should go to an inferior product when the better one's out there, as far as I'm concerned. Unless you want to be grandfathered in as, like, one of the guys that was streaming on YouTube before it was good.
Is there a way you could, like, stream to 2 different sites at the same time?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you just do that?
Yeah, you could.
I mean, I guess it'll be a hit on your internet.
Oh, fuck yeah. It's a huge hit on your internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do it.
Yeah. Every now and then when I was bored, I would stream to Hitbox and Twitch to see which one, like, would get more. And it's always Twitch because there's nobody on Hitbox ever.
Right. Okay.
But yeah.
And I could do all 3 at once.
Yeah, oh god. My internet service provider probably already isn't happy with me because of all the bandwidth I used. I could just imagine the emails. Like, what are you uploading that's like 20 gigs a minute?
Yeah. All right. Well, are you, like, done with it? Are you going to keep trying it out every now and then?
You know what? I'll keep trying it out and playing dumb shit on it, but, I mean, Twitch is just better because they've had the time to work on it. So, we'll see. I think YouTube gaming could be good. They just need to get rid of this crappy UI, simplify it enough so that you can navigate normally. Like, just rip off Twitch. Why wouldn't you rip off the company that has perfected the formula of how to get people to, like, navigate their site? Rip off what their shit looks like, put, like, your logo on it instead, and just give a better streaming service. One thing I will say is that with Twitch, for different, like, partnered Twitch streamers get different qualities of videos, so people with, like, a slower internet connection can bump down the quality from, like, a high definition quality to maybe like a 480p or something. They don't give that to everybody that streams on Twitch. Only people that are, like, above a certain threshold of viewers or whatever.
Do we have that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So,
I mean, I have no idea.
So there's a problem of, like, when you're a smaller channel, you want your games to look good streaming, so you want to stream at high definition, but it also makes it so people with shittier connections might not even ever see your stream, so they're going to leave right away. With YouTube gaming, everybody has the option to bump down the video quality right away, and I think that's a good thing. That shouldn't be just given to people with, like, the higher echelon of people watching them to change the video quality. I think that should just be the God-given right given to everybody, that if you have a shittier connection, you should be able to watch whoever you want in a lower quality as long as you can.
There should be like an audio-only version.
There is on the app, which is really weird. Their audio,
I guess,
yeah.
You know, because data, if you're just, like, if you're streaming it not on Wi-Fi.
That's it. I mean, that's how I've quote-unquote watched some of the top-down stuff before when I haven't been part of it, like when it's been you and John, is using the Twitch app audio only on my way home.
Cool.
But, yeah, YouTube gaming's a thing, and it sucks right now, but maybe it'll get better. That's all I have to say about it.
Okay, someone outside my window is just yelling.
They were mad.
I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, let's talk about Pokemon, specifically Pokken Tournament. I'm not quite sure how that's actually pronounced. Anyway, it's coming to the Wii U in North America, like to the West. So that's definitely cool. It's spring.
I'm excited.
Right now, it's just in Japanese arcades. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. That seems like a really weird game. So I'll play some of that.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you.
I'm surprised the West is actually getting it like this soon. I figured it would be like when I opened up this article, it was going to be like, oh, Japan's getting it, and then blah blah blah.
And like 5 years later, the West will or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On an even crazier thing, did you watch this Madden commercial?
No.
Oh my God! I want you to
after.
watch it live. I want you to watch it live, and I want you to narrate what is going on.
Actually, you know what? I can do you better here. I will grab the screen region of the commercial so people can watch it with me live.
Okay.
Sorry, audio-only listeners.
Before we start this up, did you watch the Madden commercial from last year?
What was it? I can't remember.
Dave Franco. It was about them getting crazy in the game. They like lit their house on fire.
Yeah.
Okay, this is like, what is going on outside my apartment? What was I talking about? This one, it's like that, like times 2. Like, all I'm gonna say is there's dinosaurs in this one.
Okay.
And a football gun. Actually, there's a lot of football guns. A lot. So, for the audio listeners, I want you to watch it. We'll go through it together, and I want you to kind of narrate what you're seeing.
Okay.
Let me know when we're going, and I'll load it up for myself as well.
All right. Count it down. I'm ready to click it whenever.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Start the commercial. You can just go ahead. You're just gonna narrate it. I've already seen it.
All right. A Madden film. Okay. Good. Oh, Jesus. Okay, a bunch of shots.
A montage?
Yeah, a montage of a bunch of different people of different lifestyles by the looks of it, but they're all kind of weirdly crazy. Okay, a bunch of people are running to dubstep of some sort. They jumped on a couch.
It's Dave Franco and Mick Lovin. I forget what his actor's name is.
One day, everything changed.
This has to
forever.
Turn down the volume a bit.
If you want to see your girl again.
Okay. This is
Okay, so he's got Trish. We're gonna have to break this down a bit. So the bad guy has Dave Franco's girlfriend. He's kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Right? They're phoning him up.
Yeah, this is like a revenge film plot right here.
Yeah. They're doing a lot of like beating off jokes.
Yep.
Work it like a boss. Dave Franco.
So he's gonna fight him in Madden to get his girlfriend back.
All right.
Dave Franco as Blade Johnson. Christopher Mintz-Plasse, that's his name. There we go.
Yeah, I can never remember it either. Antonio Brown. That's great. He grabbed that drink.
Yep. As Sticky Bun. Lil Pepper, Coach Rex Ryan.
As Al Pacino.
Beat him in Madden to get her back. Coach.
All right. They're getting the playmakers are uniting. There you go. Got to beat her in Madden. Al Pacino's blind, by the way.
Of course he is.
He keeps calling Little Pepper his father. And Al Pacino just ate one of the photos.
Yep.
Just so he could.
All right, a Bollywood dance sequence.
But that's what Dave Franco is talking about. Now it's a Bollywood movie.
It's pretty good.
Dave Franco starts his training. He's losing to the blind Al Pacino in Madden.
Of course he is.
We got company.
Still a Bollywood movie.
You know this is like better than the game will ever be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, here we go. More action. We got motorcycles driving into their, I don't know, training place. And now one of the ninjas is getting karate chopped in the shoulder for like a solid minute.
Yep. Impossible to unwatch. Okay.
I love the music that starts up during that part.
Okay, the ball gun.
Here we go. Football gun
is so good.
Taking out the columns. He took out both the motorcyclists.
The music playing is so good.
It's pretty good, right? There we go. Christopher Mintz-Plasse flying around on a fan?
Of course.
Dave Franco wants you to bring the heat. There we go. I love how the footballs are like guns.
Dave Franco is probably the best actor ever. You know what's funny is that when they cut to gameplay footage, it looks so shitty compared to the quality of the video they're shooting.
Like it doesn't even matter. Like who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, he finally beat Al Pacino at football.
Of course he did.
Oh, hang on. His coach just got hit by a football. Which I'm pretty sure means he's dead in this universe.
This is already longer than I would ever play a Madden game that we've spent watching
this is
it.
Incredible now, right?
Well, I mean, that's why I'm still doing this and why
Capsule
I wouldn't
Force
keep playing.
is, we have a winner.
Yep.
We're talking about Dave Franco, by the way. Christopher Mintz-Plasse playing a, what is that, a pan flute into the night while bats are flying around him?
Oh, yeah, there's a dinosaur.
Yep, there's the dinosaur.
It's for my dad.
That is some decent CG for a dumb commercial.
Just about to play it.
Yeah, like the dinosaur doesn't look that bad.
Like, they really didn't need to go all out with CG for this. It was already funny.
And they're upset.
Oh
the
my
dinosaur
God.
ate the bad guy and he didn't get to play him in Madden.
People watching, you need to get your GIF creators out and start making some animations.
Sports, it's in the game.
Anyway, that's a great commercial, and again, last year's commercial was real good. If you didn't see that, look up last year's Madden commercial. But Madden's easily becoming one of my favorite video game marketing campaigns.
I mean, their
Like-
marketing's better than their fucking games, by
I mean,
far.
I don't want to play Madden ever, but that commercial was pretty good,
Yeah.
and just probably cost a lot of money. Like, oh my gosh, a lot of money.
I love how Video Shinobi's like, and rip VOD. Because we're probably muted now on the VOD.
Uh-oh.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Anyway, that's the thing. People listening, look it up. The Madden commercial. It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about PlayStation Plus games for September. Remember how people could vote?
Yeah.
Grow Home won. Yes.
Okay. Sure.
So we're getting Grow Home. We're getting Super Time Force on the PS4. Zeo Drifter on everything. Twisted Metal on PS3.
Yes.
Tesla Grad on PS4 and PS3, and La Mulana EX on Vita.
Do you like La Mulana?
I've never played it.
Okay. I don't
I've
know
heard
what to
good
think
things.
of that game. It's okay, but I'm not good at it at all. I think I'm missing like a key strategy to doing anything in that game. Anyways, that's not relevant.
I'm just excited. Grow Home one. That's cool. I don't. Super Time Force is great, but I bought that on the 360 on the Xbox One, and they gave it out for gold on Xbox One a while ago anyway. So I'm gonna jump to the games with gold
Yeah.
for Xbox,
Okay.
and we are getting Dear God.
Yeah.
Which, have you heard of Dear God?
Yeah.
I looked this like a trailer of this up, and it looks awesome.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
I've wanted to play it for a while,
The
but
trailer looks great. You're a deer doing deer things, which
Yeah.
means like fighting monsters and running, and it looks gorgeous. Like it looks
Yeah,
like
it does.
sword and sorcery, but you're a deer and more color.
yeah,
So I'm excited for that. We're getting Tomb Raider Definitive Edition,
that's a good game.
which I saw a tweet, someone saying this is like the most free game ever because we've got that back on PS3 last year in March.
Yeah.
We got it on 360 this year in March, and now we're getting on Xbox One next month.
That game's good. Whatever.
Battle Stations Pacific for the 360.
I don't know anything about it.
I could not care less about that. And Crisis 3 for the 360.
Crisis 3 is pretty good. It's okay.
And I guess now all the games are, they said all the 360 games of gold are going to be backwards compatible, so that's kind of cool.
That is for sure.
But I'm just excited for Dear God.
Yeah.
I've already played through Tomb Raider. I probably won't play it again. If there's any Tomb Raiding I'm doing, it's Go style right now.
Yeah. I wonder if that's done. Of course it should be.
Yeah,
yeah, of
Dear
course
God
it
looks really cool. I would recommend people looking up a trailer of it. That was a cool looking game. And then the last bit of news, which was also a bummer for me, they've released the pricing model on Rock Band 4 standalone disc.
Yeah.
It's going to be $60 on PS4. It's going to be $80 on Xbox One because it comes with an adapter that is needed to use the old instruments.
Okay.
Even more of a bummer. So my plan was, I was like, well, I have all my really old Rock Band instruments because, I have Rock Band 1. I bought Guitar Hero 2 on 360. That's what I was planning to use.
Yeah.
I was like, do I still need this adapter and stuff if I'm doing wired? Like it looked like it was a wireless adapter. Can I just plug my stuff in like I have been? And I actually reached out to Eric Pope at Harmonix on over Twitter, and he said they're not supporting any wired peripherals, which was news to me, meaning now I have to buy everything again this fall. So that's kind of a bummer, but at least I get new stuff, and they're wireless this time, which is cool. But now I gotta drop what is it, like $250 for the whole band kit again, which I haven't done in years. So
maybe it's time. It's time you open that wallet up again.
It would have been nice if I could use my instruments that work fine. They work fine.
Yeah.
They're just taking up space in my parents' house. I was gonna bring them back and take up space in my house, but now I'm gonna have instruments in both places.
Great.
So, but at least they'll be nice and new. So that's kind of cool.
Sure.
And that's it for the news this week.
Yeah, good news, though.
Yeah, some cool stuff. Let's go on to all the questions.
If you want to write in, topdownperspective@gmail.com, twitter.com/TDP podcast, or facebook.com/topdownperspective, I think, right?
Yeah, there's John's P.O. Box. I don't know what the number thing is, but...
P.O. Box 666, Calgary, Alberta. I'm sure that'll get to him. Make sure you put 2 John on it, because there's only 1 John here.
Work. But you can look up his P.O. Box. It's not that hard to find. Send stuff. Cody writes in. He says, recently I've been digging through my backlog, first with Legend of Dragoon and now Parasite Eve 2. While I enjoy Legend of Dragoon, I think that the game just sort of drags on. The final disc, especially, and with Parasite Eve 2, it's absolutely nothing like what I would have expected of a prequel to Parasite Eve. So, I come to you with 2 questions. What's a game you felt was too long for its own good?
Oh, so many games. Most RPGs. I hate when there's a grinding section where it's just like there's going to be like 5 hours of just dumb shit to get you through an area.
I'm fine if the grinding section is not that bad until you get to the final boss, and then they just hike it up.
Yeah, that's kind of an older RPG style.
Like, I'm thinking like Final Fantasy X did that. Never beat Final Fantasy X. I'm on the final boss. Final Fantasy 3, same thing. I'm on the final boss. And I was just like, no, I don't feel like grinding. And then Bravely Default is way too long for its own good. One I'll say, not an RPG. Do you remember the game Lost in Shadow for the Wii?
No, I
It
don't.
was by Hudson.
Okay.
And you played a little boy, or you played a little kid, and you could like transfer into the wall and be a shadow and stuff, and it was like a puzzle platformer. That game was way too long.
You're right. I do remember seeing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
That game, like, it was good, but it's like, it's way too long. Like, you make your way all the way up this tower, and you're like, finally, and then it just drops you down to like the dungeon, and you have to like try out everything again or something. It's just, that game is way too long.
Yeah. Any game that you don't like when you have to review it is way too long for its own good.
I mean, I didn't have to review that one.
No, but I mean in general, like any game that you have to review, if you're not feeling it within the first like half an hour to an hour, it's too long for its own good.
It's a bit of a slog, yeah. So, in that account, codename Steam. Yeah. Although other games I would mention that aren't like super too long, but it's just because I also really hate when a game like sets you up like here's going to be the end, and then it's like, oh wait, hang on, another hour or two, which is just like, oh, I was like mentally prepared to be done. Catherine does that, and Kirby's Return to Dreamland also does that.
Yeah.
Question 2: have you ever played a game sequel that was completely different from what you expected?
Completely different. Okay.
Pac-Man 256. I was not expecting it to be that free to play. Like,
I was not expecting that. Like, I was expecting that to be good, and that sounds really harsh, but I don't like it.
Did you play it? You don't like it?
No.
Did you play Crossy Road?
Yeah, I don't mind Crossy Road at all.
Okay, but you don't like Pac-Man?
Not really. I have some problems with that game, but anyways, a sequel that was completely different. Oh, like the answer is Resident Evil 4, because I love Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, and 4 is not at all like those in any way.
Okay. Do you want to get the next question?
Yep. Joey writes in with 3 questions. First question: have you ever used any video game accessories for non-video game? This is gonna be fun. Non-video game use. Like, since I couldn't really afford a good mic, I always had used the microphones from Rock Band and Hey You Pikachu. The latter being surprisingly decent for recording music. Oh, there's a side question here. Sean, I know you used that fucking Xbox camera for everything.
I'm currently using it right now.
Yeah.
This is the Xbox Live Vision camera, using it right now.
Yeah.
I also have used Rock Band mics for recording stuff before.
Yeah, definitely. That's like, I don't remember if it's on Nathan's personal channel or on the TDP channel. That's how he did like any videos. He didn't have a mic, so he used the Rock Band mic, and he had to like get really right up into it and talk really like loud into it.
Eventually, I'm pretty sure he got the mic I currently have.
He does, yeah.
Also, I'm remembering something about hanging the Rock Band mic from my ceiling for something, although that might have just been Rock Band. I was just being silly and like, we're just going to hang this from the ceiling.
I mean, for the tabletop nights, you use the cam hanging from the ceiling as well.
We use the cam, but I know for the tabletop nights, we had like John's and my like omnidirectional mic.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think other peripherals. Oh, here's a good one. DJ Hero 1 Renegade Edition came with a cool case/stand.
Yeah.
And you could put this cover on top of it, but still have the legs out. I used that as like a semi-coffee table for a while.
Nice. That's actually really good.
Yeah. That one was pretty funny.
I've used the Zapper for the NES. Like, I had two, and one of them was kind of a piece of shit. I used that as a hammer once, and it broke.
That's a terrible use for that.
Eh. It was
that's not good at all.
It was garbage anyway. Side question, part of this question. Do you have any recommendations for good, affordable mics? I always hear the Blue Yeti tossed around as a suggestion, but I was curious if you have any other suggestions. The Blue Yeti is...
The Blue Yeti is what I'm currently using. I just got it. I really like that.
If you want a cheaper version, the Blue Snowball.
And the Blue Snowball is what I was using.
Yep.
And it's what we use when we're doing like group stuff. Like I know John uses it often as well. So like if you ever saw like our Saturn streams and stuff, we were using the Snowball. But the Blue Yeti is really quite nice. I do like it.
If you want a condenser mic, the Audio-Technica 2020
is that what you use?
No, that's not what I use.
What do you use?
I use this thing that was on sale that I can't remember the name of. It just says M Audio on it. So if you go to M Audio's site and like look up a mic that looks similar to mine, that's what it's called. But I don't know the like model number or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my recommendation would be the Blue Snowball.
If you don't like blue for some reason, Audio-Technica AT2020 is what you want. And it's about the same price as the Yeti. About the same quality, too. It's basically the Yeti for Audio-Technica.
Like, moving up from a Snowball, though, the Blue has, like,
huge.
So many more features. Like,
yeah.
It has volume controls on it. It has different switches. I know there are Snowballs that have different switches for different directions. Mine didn't. It has a mute button. It has a headphone jack right in it, so I don't have to keep plugging it into my computer. Yeah. Definitely real nice.
His second question: what's the strangest retro licensed game you've ever seen or played? For me, no matter how many other bizarre games exist, Revolution X as an Aerosmith game is just weird. It's also surprisingly grueling to play. I don't think I know Revolution X.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. What is the strangest retro licensed game?
I'm not even sure I understand what that means.
Well, I think he's saying like an old Aerosmith game is weird. I'm trying to think of like old like licensed games I played, but I can't think of anything that was like weird. Except for like, you know, the Burger King games are weird, but they're not that old.
Weird old games that are licensed?
That's what I'm assuming this question is.
Yeah,
the
like
Kool-Aid Man game.
Flat Matt in the chat, that rhymed way too well. Michael Jackson's Moonwalker, like that's a great example. The old Home Alone games are dumb.
See, I haven't played any of these, so
I don't.
Back with older games, I had to be like quite like selective with what games I'm gonna play or buy.
Yeah. Wayne's World on the SNES was garbage, so there's that.
I mean, I like that Simpsons arcade game a lot. That's a good game. That beat 'em up.
I think those are probably enough answers. His third question: any other game series you want Nintendo to make a Maker game out of, e.g. Mario Maker, WarioWare DIY? A Kirby Maker might be cool, especially if every power Kirby has ever had is at your disposal, but that's wishful thinking. I think take F-Zero with Trackmania's concept where you just build a bunch of tracks and like part of this community with like F-Zero speeds. That could be fun.
I was thinking Rhythm Heaven.
That would be great.
You make a silly animation. It doesn't matter what you put in there because the animation's already super silly, and then you get to kind of make the beat. And you just gotta say and it'd be super easy because it's like, I want them to press A on these beats. I want them to press B on these beats. Done. Like it's a 2-button game all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Pokemon Maker is a pretty great idea.
That would be cool. Although you could just, I feel like you could like game it really easily. Like, this monster is gonna give you 1,000,000 experience points.
What if like you can change the coding for that? You could just put down like a level 3, like Rattata or something.
Like that gets restricted.
Yeah, like you just choose what level or like.
See, I think I just want like the Pokemon MMO at that point.
Oh yeah.
I think of, like, when you're restricting it, it's like, okay, I mean, I do want unlimited Pokemon worlds to look at. Just give me the Pokemon MMO. Come on.
Mario Maker Sunshine.
2D Zelda Maker. Like,
2D Zelda Maker is good, but that's Binding of Isaac. Basically, you would just make Binding of Isaac stages. So.
I guess so, except there's no like outside world, which is a little different.
Yeah.
You're right. It is really similar to Binding of Isaac. You're right.
And like a lot of people do hacks of those games. So, yeah.
David says, this week while playing Castle in the Darkness on Steam, I managed to softlock the game by causing an item a boss drops to appear in the ceiling where it was completely unreachable. Luckily, I didn't lose any progress and just had to fight the boss again, which was fairly easy. So my question to each of you is, can you remember the last time you softlocked a game, and was it more frustrating or fascinating?
Oh, what the fuck was that game that dude put out? D4 was the last game I softlocked by just trying to play the goddamn thing. At the intro screen, like where, you know how you do the little tutorial of like the little girl or whatever running on the ice?
Yeah.
The very beginning, and then after you get to the owl, there's like the bright light or whatever, blah, 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 and then you do the intro sequence. That intro sequence kept locking up. That's why I refunded the game.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to think.
I guess I didn't do that, though.
Like, most of the times, I just get, like, crashes.
Yeah.
And, does that count as a soft lock?
That's kind of what I'm thinking, too, because I didn't soft lock D4. It crashed every time.
Yeah, like, I thought soft locking was when, like, something weird happens and you're just kind of stuck. Or am I missing the definition?
When's the last time that happened? Because I know that was that happened to me pretty regularly with a game. I just can't remember what the fuck.
I mean, I can't think of anything specific with mine. I'm usually just like, yeah. I feel like if I played like more open world games, that would happen kind of regularly. Like characters just getting stuck and stuff.
Yeah, like when you bring that up, I've softlocked DayZ like 1,000 times before by picking up a gun.
Yeah, so even the chat is saying, yeah, soft lock means the game still runs, you just can't progress. Hard lock is when it crashes. I get a lot more crashes, but I can't think of the last time I soft locked anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, was it more frustrating or fascinating? It's always more frustrating. I don't care about the mechanics behind why something fucked up. I just want to play my goddamn game.
Yeah, and like depending on like how much I have to redo,
Yeah.
that's just gonna be frustrating.
I never really find it fascinating. Maybe with like old NES games, because you don't give a shit anyways, it was easy to catch up to where you were. But yeah. Okay, Brooke writes in, "Hey guys, how well do you handle more realistic violence? Some examples being the show Daredevil and the end of the fall section in The Last of Us. I know for me, I have to look away even when a gore discretion shot is in place."
Did you watch Daredevil?
I didn't finish it, but yeah, I've watched about half of it. It's really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is.
It's really gory. I have another Netflix show to recommend. BoJack Horseman.
I hate it. I hate that fucking show.
Really?
It's fucking
I think
trash.
I agree to disagree. I think it's pretty funny.
I hate it.
What don't you like about it?
It's not funny at all, and it looks shitty.
I think you're wrong. I love
hate
all
that
the just
fucking game.
quick little
Or
like
show.
animal puns that are in the background. Neil McBeal, the Navy SEAL. You stole a meal from Neil McBeal, the Navy SEAL. And he's a SEAL in the Navy SEALs. Oh, it's so good. Okay, anyway, gore. I usually like turn away briefly. I'm trying to think the last thing I watched that like stuck on it, because I remember like I'm thinking Lost recently, because I'm going back through Lost, and if something gory happens, they show it for a split second and like cut away real quick, so it's not a big of an issue. But I think for the most part, I usually like just kind of turn away and like, I don't want to see this. This is gross.
I deal with it fine.
You're fine with it?
Yeah.
If it's cartoony, it doesn't matter to me at all, really.
I will. Okay, there's specific violence or gore or whatever that I can't stand. Fingernail stuff is really bad for me. Really bad. And ankle stuff. I don't know what it is about ankle. Like seeing an ankle get slashed from underneath a car or something. Like it's.
I guess when does that ever happen?
In movies, it's happened a few times. Like it's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. I hate it so much.
Okay.
But nails, man. Stuff with nails is the worst. Oh god. I don't feel good.
Eye stuff really bugs me. Like finishing Dead Space 2 was kind of difficult for me and really made me go like, ah.
It depends. If eye stuff is done in like a cartoony ultra violence way that's silly, then it's kind of like, oh, that's weird. But if it's something like, if I watch, okay, so you've worked in a workplace before. Have you ever had to watch safety videos? Or maybe in high school?
I'm trying to think. I think I've only ever like read like booklets where there's like crappy photos of like, here's a spill, don't put it in your eyes. I don't think I've seen an actual video.
We had to watch a like oldish video in metal shop class when I was like in high school, and there was one part where just like a piece of slag from a piece of metal the guy was welding like shot into a dude's eye, and I was just like sick the rest of the day. That ruined my day. It was so bad. Like, I know it was fake and they didn't actually film somebody injuring themselves, but
I'm actually eye squeamish in real life. Seeing just like the thought of someone like touching their eye, like, and people will like do it in front of me, makes my eyes water.
Oh yeah. Can't even talk about this anymore.
Okay, Andrew writes in, I included the subject line here. I thought it was relevant. He says, Through the Fire and Flames is for babies.
Okay.
All right, the email. Last week you were talking about long songs, and I thought I should bring to your attention the band Nightwish.
Yeah.
Who has since their fourth studio album has always had one song that clocks over 10 minutes per album. See, my eyes are still bugging me. Oh my god. Okay.
Amazing.
With their latest one, the greatest show on earth, clocking at 24 minutes and 8 seconds. But enough about music questions. Question 1, Sean, you asked for some visual novel recommendations last week. The only one I have to recommend for now is, and excuse my pronunciation here, Higurashi, When They Cry, Chapter 1, Onikakushi. Chapter 1 is the only chapter re-released on Steam so far, but it is, from how much I've played so far, a rather good game and worth the $6 that Steam is charging. Question 2, Paul. A few months back, you said you were going to buy the PC version of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 1 as it was on sale. Did you actually go through with your plan?
You know what? Let me check. I don't remember buying that.
He says, if you have, I should try streaming it. I mean, I think it means you should try streaming
I
it.
totally do have it.
It would make the grind much easier on yourself. I guess there's some grind. Also, if you manage to reach the max level of 999 with all the DLC, I applaud you.
I need to ask a question to the chat, or specifically Andrew, if you're here listening in the chat right now. If I stream this game, will I get kicked off Twitch? Because I'm a little squeamish around streaming anything with anime girls, like in screenshots, because those usually end up real bad for copyright shit and for the like no nudity on Twitch censors and stuff. But
all right, and while we wait for those answers, his third question: what is the most infuriating poor design game you played? Personally, I think Borderlands, the pre-sequel, had horrible design in almost every part of it. The levels were strangely constructed. The characters were annoying at best. The DLC's final boss would normally take 45 minutes, assuming you didn't die and had 4 players. And worst of all, the game seemed not be tested for single player at all. All of that probably stems from the game only having 9 QA testers. Also, everyone in the chat is saying no, it should be fine. It's a little lewd, but no nude.
Lewd, but no nude. Okay. Story of my life.
Poorly designed games. Things that pop to mind are ones that seemed kind of like rushed out there, like, or just trying to like tie you over. Gears of War Judgment. That last Prince of Persia game, The Forgotten Sands.
Okay. Are they badly designed, though, or are they just, like, people didn't want that game?
It seems like uninspired.
Uninspired.
Like, it's like, this is just kind of more of the exact same. Like, nothing that interesting about it.
The worst designed game is DayZ, because when you pick up a gun and it doesn't work because of bad coding, that is infuriating.
Okay.
But,
I don't know if that's bad design or it's just broken.
It is very broken.
Like, I'm sure the design is for it to work.
Anything that uses QuickTime events too much is bad game design.
Okay. Oh, wait, hang on. No, I just totally disagree with that.
No, it's bad game design.
Now that I double think about that, no.
Ninja Blade is like one of the worst games ever.
Ninja Blade is silly. I own that game.
It's dumb.
I played through that whole game. That game is silly. You throw a motorcycle at some weird metal spider thing.
Yeah, but you push X to do it. Like that's what's
X a lot. I'm really good at pressing X.
Okay, fair enough.
Also, don't you talk shit about Asura's Wrath.
That's a whole different thing. That's not
That's a QuickTime game?
That's not even a game, man. That's like anime that you interact with.
I'm just not agreeing with you. I'm down for some QuickTime events.
I hate QuickTime events as a main thing.
I like David Cage's games. I play through them. They're weird.
I will agree with you that I've played through them. They're okay. You know what? The problem with David Cage games is not the quick timiness. It's that he needs
some weird writing.
He needs somebody to hone him in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Where are we, Andy? Andy writes in, was playing through Metroid Fusion 100% in one sitting last night, got to the SAX chase sequences, both dreading and appreciating for what it was. Any chase sequences in games you've dread or appreciated when playing through the game over again? That is one of the best. I love those sequences in that game. They're fantastic. Best horror game ever made.
What is the Sonic CD when you're getting chased by that whale in the first level?
Oh, dude.
I also like in Sonic, what was it? Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, when you're running through the city and there's like a big truck chasing you.
Have I ever told you how much I hate not chase sequences, but being chased? Like if, for example, say I'm going up the stairs, right? And then I hear behind me somebody else going up the stairs, like it freaks me the fuck out. I don't like
in real life or games?
In real life. I don't like the idea of like somebody being a few steps behind me. So chases are like the worst. for me. They're kind of terrifying. But
I think other chase sequence games. I'm usually fine with them in games. Like it makes it like exciting.
It depends what it is.
Uncharted 2 was fantastic for some chase sequences.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there for sure.
Yeah, I like that.
I feel like we're missing something. Like I feel like there's something so obvious, like the most classic game chase of all time or something, but I can't think of it. So,
I mean, Mario, that chasing when the world scrolls with you, you're getting chased by that wall.
yeah, I guess.
Jarazmine writes, news. They gave us some news. Awesome. It's National Burger Day in England.
Okay.
Thoughts on? All right. And then he said, and then they say thoughts on where gaming as a whole is headed. Wow, that's open ended. I'd rather talk about National Burger Day.
I mean, the answer for where gaming as a whole is headed is VR, like the VR headsets. Basically, that's the new trend that they're gonna push towards.
I guess that's the immediate one, yeah.
So, but yeah, I love burgers. They're my favorite food.
Favorite topping on a burger?
Oh.
Okay, actually, hang on. That's a little too open-ended.
Cheese is probably it.
Hang on. Hang on.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have one topping on your burger. What do you pick?
Cheese. Can we assume cheese is just on there like a cheeseburger?
Okay, if cheese is already on there, it's a cheeseburger. You're allowed one topping.
One topping.
Mine is mayonnaise.
Bacon.
That's such a dry burger. That is such a dry burger. Okay, second question.
Yeah.
You're looking at the menu,
yeah,
and you see the list of burgers.
Yeah.
What is the one item that if it's on a burger, you will order it?
Mushrooms.
What?
100%. I love
You're
mushrooms.
Crazy. The answer is either a fried egg or avocado.
That is, you know what? Stay in California and never come back to Canada.
Mushrooms with your Canadian pizza. I got the mushrooms on there.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Who says mushrooms?
Mushrooms are the best.
You're the oldest man.
They are the best.
You're the oldest man alive.
They're the best.
Oh my god. Okay. All right. You want to get the next question?
Jellyfish jelly. All right. Next question from
people in the chat saying ketchup. You're crazy. You are.
Yeah.
You're peasants. What a poor man answer. Ketchup. You can have anything in the world and you pick ketchup.
I kind of agree. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like a good amount of like ketchup and mustard and like mayo, whatever like a good burger could have if you have the works or something. But it's not my go-to. Like, throw ketchup on that bitch and throw it in my mouth.
I'll give you this good ingredient, but you have to trade me something that's currently on your burger. Ketchup's the first thing to go.
What else is on the burger?
I don't know. Let's just say it's like a standard burger, and I have to lose an ingredient to get another one.
From where?
Ketchup's the. I don't.
Like, it depends what burger you're getting from where. Because McDonald's has like 2 ingredients on their burger. It's ketchup and mustard.
I'm sticking with mustard over ketchup. I'm telling you, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as there's something I actively dislike on it, like tomatoes can just screw off completely. That's a bad food.
I kind of agree. I'm trying to think of when tomatoes really made my life better. I mean, they've probably made my heart better because they're supposed to be like good for you, but yeah, I'm not a huge tomato fan in general either.
All right, you got the second last question?
Soren writes in and asks thoughts on arcades as it stands now, round 1, D&B, etc., and how arcades will be ahead in the future. They're like, if they're not a big thing that is across from PAX, they're gonna die.
I feel like barcades are becoming a thing.
It depends, like how big the city you're in. Like, you need to have enough.
I'm hearing about a lot more barcades than I am hearing about just arcades, unless you're in like a movie theater. Then they always have some games.
Would you call that I guess that's technically an arcade because it's an arcade portion of the theater.
Yeah.
So
what I want though is I want more like bars and like you know like not like sit-down restaurants, but like food establishments that just have arcade machines in them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're waiting for your order. What are you gonna do? You're gonna play some Soul Calibur 1. That's what you're gonna do.
Or Police 911.
Yeah, just whatever it is.
Yeah.
But anyways, barcades are cool.
Yeah.
I've never been to a not cool barcade.
Standard like arcades though, dead.
I can't even remember the last time I went to a standard arcade. Yeah,
What?
PAX a few years ago, I guess.
That was fun though when we did go. There was a lot of people there too. Like that's the
Well, it was
only.
PAX.
I mean,
Like-
that's the only way an arcade can function. Basically, is when it's
Yeah.
in a major city downtown and there's a
Yep.
giant event that could keep them.
Well, and when
up
you're in like a
and going.
giant nerd city like Seattle.
That's kind of it. Yeah.
Last question. Konagami says both Sin and Punishment games were released on the Wii U eShop today, and that was a huge and pleasant surprise for me. Ever been? Oh, I think it's supposed to be a comma there.
Yeah.
Ever been surprised by a game released on an online store that you had no previous knowledge of a release? Oh, I'm sure there's been something.
Yeah. Oh, it actually just happened this week. The Mega
Tomb
Man,
Raider Go.
the Mega Man
Right.
collection on PC on Steam. So
Oh, okay.
fucking excited.
All right, that's
Yeah.
a good one. I just know there's something like scratching me that's like I've been in this exact scenario. Like, where did this come from? This is awesome, but I can't. I can even think of like the developer being like, "Hey, it's out right now." Like, I guess Fallout Shelter was one.
That
but
was
it's not
good.
the thing I'm thinking of. It's not the thing I'm thinking of. That was just exciting because it was like E3 is all about things that are coming in like half a year, whereas this thing was like now, and it was like, oh, cool, I get to be a part of the zeitgeist right now.
Sure.
I can't think of anything else coming out from out of nowhere.
Like, yeah, I think the out of nowhere part is hard, especially when we like do this thing where we do news. And
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like I'm on Twitter following all these game journalists, so things, yeah. I'm always excited though when there's like a new iOS game that's like I just start hearing a couple people talk about it and it comes out of nowhere. Like the Sage Solitaire was like that. So, but yeah. Anyway, once again, questions for next week, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, or the Facebook group. Just search Top Down Perspective. You can also send weird stuff to John's P.O. Box, and it'll show up on this show. I promise. What's your game of the week?
Policenauts. Yeah.
And mine is Tales from the Borderland Episode 4.
Cool.
You should play Tales from the Borderland, Paul. Just do it.
I'm more likely to do that than I am to do another like Telltale property, Game of Thrones specifically.
Okay. There you go.
So
Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.